I started playing the piano when I was 7, and every year I loved it more and more. I can't say that I fall in love with piano from the very beginning, but I think it happened when I started to play more serious repertoire, the repertoire that I could listen to on the CDs, played by professionals, by famous pianists, and this made me want to be a pianist even more. And then I started to feel that I have something to say, because this is another question. I have to have something to say to play the piano, even if you play pieces by other composers, so you transmit what they wanted to say. It has to be with your emotions as well. So it's a combination of emotions of the composer and of the performer, it's obvious. My favorite composer is Tchaikovsky, the Russian composer, and but I like his symphonic music and I like his operas. This is extremely inspiring for me. And I fell in love with him when I was very young, and until now he is my number one, absolutely. So I listen to him often. But I also love to play Chopin, of course, and I love Schubert, Mozart, Beethoven, and many other composers. I try to find myself in every single composer, but of course respecting their tastes and respecting the times when they were living. I feel the best in Chopin's music. I don't know if it's because I'm Polish. Probably not, because there are many pianists who are not Polish and they play Chopin in an amazing way. But I just feel his sensitivity is very close to my sensitivity. I feel like I understand his phrasing, and that I can express myself through his music in the best way. Almost the same as Franz Schubert for me. His music is sometimes very deep, but at the same time full of the inner sensitivity and full of love to the music. He said himself that he confessed all his life to the music, to nothing else but to the music, and you can feel it in his music. This is something I can feel when I play his music also. You have to love the music at first place, and you have to have something to say. And then, if you have all this, the music will love you as well, and your life will be fruitful, I think. The essence of being a musician is very hard to describe. This is something spiritual, I would say, especially in classical music. There's always a message that we want to transmit to our audience. But because our music has no words, this message is mysterious. It's never very clear. It can make one person feel deeply touched, whereas another person can feel as if he or she wants to be a better person after playing. It's also a philosophical matter, how the music change us, how the music can change human beings. This is something that I'm thinking of very often, because I believe that it can. I believe that it can make us think more about ourselves. I believe that it can make us believe that we can change something in our life. I also like talking to the audience when I play a concert, simply because I want to have a unique atmosphere on my concert at first place, and I want to get the audience inside to what I'm doing. I don't like to have a concert when there is me and piano, and then there is a wall, and then the audience sitting and listening and watching. I prefer the concert where we all kind of are playing together. This means an active audience, and I think I can achieve that in a way by talking a little about the composer or the piece I'm going to perform, about what I think about this piece, or about what this piece is about, more or less, when it was written, etc. And of course it depends on to whom you play, but in general I think we should play for very wide audience. I don't expect all the people to know everything about classical music when I play for them. And I realize that this is not so easy nowadays to know everything about classical music. In Chopin's time it was different. He played for people who knew everything about music. He played for people who composed themselves very often. And they knew about the structure, they knew everything about the form, about the language of the music and everything. Now we have different times, we have different people, different audience, and to make the audience a little similar to from Chopin's times or other composers' times, I think it's worth it to talk a little and present the knowledge about the piece I'm performing. And this is actually very important for me, because it can be very interesting also for people who do not go to classical concerts every week or even every month. Many times I had experiences with people who came to my concert and it was their first concert in a year or so. And after the concert they came to me and they said, "Oh, it was fantastic and we loved that you talked because we could understand it better, and it made us very interested, and we were following your music carefully and looking for these things that you told us about." Of course this is difficult because first you have to focus on the music and create atmosphere, only the performing atmosphere. But then when you finish and you are still in another world, suddenly you have to stand up and you have to talk about the next piece. And then when you talk you can't think about the performance, and then when you perform you can't think about talking. So this is not easy, but I think I'm doing it the best I can, and as far as I know people like it, so I will keep doing this wherever I can, wherever people want it, because this is important. I think to play well a certain composer, it is very important to get to know his personality, get to know his life, and try to understand him as a person. This is a very interesting topic, by the way. I'm thinking about it for many years, and I came to a very interesting idea that I tell to many people, that you have to be emphatic to play the music well, to perform pieces of other composers. It may seem strange at first, but what I think is that if we are trying to transmit emotions of the composer hidden in the piece, then it means that we first have to understand these emotions, and this is empathy. We have to feel what they feel, and when we feel what they feel, then we enrich it with our own feelings, and then we present it to the audience. This is very special, this is very magic, and this is one of the reasons I love the music so much, because it never ends, the travel never ends. And that's why I said it's, I think, very important to read a lot about the composer, to read the books that he was reading, and trying to think the way he was thinking. It seems impossible, of course, because these people were geniuses, and the greatest geniuses from all times. But I think the closest we are, the better the music is.